Oh, good name for the guy. From the loving mind of Bradley Cooper comes the greatest portrait of a white boy sick with the pen since 8 Mile. If his whimsy is too loud, then take your sensitive ass back to an estate of unapproved biopic, which does not feature Maestro drumming on butt cheeks like bongos. That is so Letterboxd.
Oren Sofa writes, "We made a movie. As it turned out, it's somewhat polarizing. I think it's pretty good."
Oren is the cinematographer of the film.
Yes.
The fact that he's really biased and very, should be really, it's quite average review.
I feel like Oren could have put in a little bit more effort.
I think it's pretty good.
It's pretty good.
What did he give it? 5 out of 5.
Good job, Oren.
Fantastic.
That's not very polarizing, though.
The next one from Gareth's mom. Oren Safa writes, ScreenX version, am a fan. I've never seen a film this way before, but it actually very, very cool concept. Worked great with our movie. Yeah, that's kind of neat.
Talking to Oren about that. Those extra screens on the side just added a lot more kind of depth.
Yeah, it's kind of neat. They did a fantastic
Do you
job.
want some boring facts now?
Yes,
Okay,
please.
so we shot the movie with a thing called a 2x anamorphic, which is basically it squeezes the image. So it unsqueezes to what is the equivalent of 2 16:9 televisions, right? Which means it's way wider than you can see in a cinema. So we had this extra information, and in ScreenX, we're going to release your film with 180-degree view. And we said, we have the material, and we just gave it them. And so this really cool little thing happened where you got to see all that stuff for the first time.
I'm in awe of their work. It's pretty good.
Dorian Yi writes, breaks animation tradition, not just by having an emphasis on LGBTQIA+ relationships and stories, but by having their cartoon dance party at the midpoint of the film instead of at the end. Aw.
That's great.
I love that when you have a mid-movie dance party, you know everything's just going to go great from there. Nothing bad will happen after that.
That's the most queer thing ever, is just having a midpoint dance party.
Why not more than
Wherever
one?
you are.
Dance parties all day.
Absolutely. Alor writes, I feel like Nimona and Spider-Punk would be best friends.
Oh, hell yeah.
Absolutely. 100%.
I don't think the world would still exist at the other end of that, but definitely.
Honestly, the past year had such incredible animation. I think so many characters would be friends across all the films. Like all of TMNT.
Oh my god.
Nimona.
The chaos.
Yeah, the heron.
Pure,
The heron.
chaos.
The heron.
Oh boy. All right. Yeah, buckle up.
Yeah. Anarchy.
Jane writes that men being attracted to infantilize women and then losing interest when they begin to think and learn for themselves. Yorgos, your mind. I just relate to it because I think men do that. A lot of men do that.
Men or boys?
Well, in my youth, I remember having a particular boyfriend who infantilized me the whole time. And I felt like a stupid little doll, almost teaching me how to walk. And I found that very annoying.
Siberium writes, a glorious, weird, and wonderful, rich tapestry of life with some of the coolest production design I've ever seen. 3 exclamation marks. I hope Yorgos and Emma work together for the rest of eternity. I mean, they're probably going to be fair. Weird. It feels like you're reading something about something out, not what we did. Do you know what I mean? To have people who've never met from around the world comment on something you've done is, it's mind-blowing.
So Drew Clark writes, watching this in a theatre hit in a way similar to how Star Wars probably felt in 1977, Matrix in 1999. I was so proud at how far cinema has come and what artists are able to achieve in the time we live in. It was like a beautifully demented Dr. Seuss book.
Wow.
Yeah, I think I like the beautifully demented Dr. Seuss book, and I think definitely some of the energy and thought process is definitely like those sort of long winding arms and tightrope walking that goes on in his book. So yeah, I like this quote.
Alex Sylvian writes, the final scene in this movie is, I think, the best thing Scorsese has ever created. That scene, the radio show, because it was being recorded and live on radio, was added. It wasn't on the script, really. Part of the exploration that was happening during the whole film was figuring it out and understanding, what the story we're telling. And part of it, I think, is the representation of these stories through newsreel, through photography, all these things. So this scene came from the research. And in the book, you learn what happened to the characters just a description on the book. So this was a way of also telling that part of the story. What happened to Molly? What happened to all of them? But as told by a radio show that's promoted by the FBI and by Lucky Strikes. So it's a way of showing the representation. Just as we're making a movie of this story, also, you know, the FBI told the story in a kind of a questionable way, you might say. But then Scorsese himself appears at the end of the movie and gives a final line. He actually didn't shoot it during the principal photography. We shot it maybe 2 months after. So in New York, it was in a place where Scorsese went to high school. It was his high school room. So there was also something special about that, you know, being in this place, and the teachers were so excited showing him around. I don't know, this movie was full of all those emotional things, you know, that just were charged with history.
All right, Carl von Rando, co-founder of Letterboxd, writes, "What an amazing film. Being a teacher sure sucks sometimes. I came away quite anxious until I realized that it wasn't my life." Isn't he sweet? It's not his life, but of course for those 1.5 hours, it kind of is. I get it that he gets anxious. And sometimes, even though I've made the film, I watch the film, I rewatch it sometimes, and then I get anxious. So it's just very normal, very human. I feel you, Carl. I feel you.
Zoe Rose Bryant writes, "I've seen the face of God and his name is Cillian Murphy." It's true. He's God. There's no one in the world like Cillian Murphy. He's a man that is blessed with so much. The generosity of his spirit is boundless. He comes to you as an empty vessel waiting to become. And he is, what did she say? The face of God, without a question.
マット・シンガーさんからの書きで、一番マイナスワンに的確なバンドコメントを選んでください。彼の書いてます。初代ゴジラと比べて一番良かったゴジラ映画で、10年で一番良かったプリーテンで、21世紀一番かっこよかったモンスター映画、まあ全てかもしれない。とにかくすごい映画で。リアクションお願いします。
そうね。褒めすぎ。
21世紀まだ始まったから。
褒めすぎだと思います。でもすごい全部嬉しい、めちゃくちゃ嬉しい言葉でありがとう。
Cinematography writes, melancholic and bittersweet, but I think that was the beauty of this film. He might be happy or he might not be, but the truth is that the trees are always there, and as long as they're there, Hirayama has a reason to smile at the sky. Hirayama would smile anyway, even if it's a rainy day, because he's happy with his life, and he's happy to lead a life of service and of routine. And the film shows that it is possible to be of service and to have routine and be damn happy.
まあ彼にはいろんなこれまでの人生いろいろあったかもしれないけども、でも彼は幸せだと思います。これからはもっと幸せになるんだと思います。
Especially after the Oscars.